All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Um, this is my second season. My second season of Cowboy Talk and Pick'em. And I was actually here on Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon. Had a big show. I was out of the bedroom. Um, Production, everything was good. And then I had some technical difficulties. I'm not complaining about no technical difficulties because there's been a lot of death and destruction by way of Hurricane Dorian. So I'm not complaining about no technical difficulties. That's just what it was at that time. And you still had people missing, presumed dead, um, all over. So keep those folks in your thoughts and prayers, and do like I do if you can. I donated $50 to Red Cross so far through the text message through their number. So I mean, if you can give, give. So this is going to be my season premiere show, second season, um, the fast version. So I'm really up against the clock. And I just want to say, I checked. I think last year I probably had about maybe about 20 views or so, maybe 17 because I probably watched myself like 3 times. But I'm just talking just to be talking because this is what I want to do and this is what I like to do. I mean, if I get a subscriber and viewers, I appreciate that. That's great. But far as um, money and subscriptions, right there, I have a 6 to 6. So I'm not really there yet. But if anybody, those that did watch me last year, and you come on back and see that I'm doing it again, I just appreciate the privilege of your time. But right now, I'm just not there with mono, money, money and subscriptions and making money from YouTube. Not yet. I know that I would have to put a whole lot more work into it than what I'm doing now, and I'm not there yet. So this is going to be the up against the clock version of the show. So I'm up against the clock, but I'm going to talk about this because this is what's going on today. Antonio Brown, and I just thought about that and how that could relate to the Dallas Cowboys. And once again, it's a Saturday afternoon. You might hear the phone ring. Somebody might try to get in the door. I don't know. It's Saturday. Who cares? I just got to do this. But anyway, Antonio Brown. How could that affect the Cowboys? I don't think the Cowboys would be interested in Antonio Brown. Cap space, but that's not the main reason. But cap space. But like I said, that's not the main reason. I'm put it like this with Mr. Brown, and then I'm gonna move on. Two sides to every story, and then there's the actual truth. The perception and what the outside is seeing, in my view, and the teams, other teams, they wanted you. They wanted him because they paid him. They put the most money on the table, so they wanted him. Okay. The foot injury stayed too long in the chamber. They dealt with that. It didn't seem like it was an issue. Then the helmet lawsuit, and then the appeal that didn't go his way. They in From the outside looking in, they supported him. That didn't go his way. Then at some point in time, I think Mark Mayock. I remember when he said, I seen this interview, and I'm paraphrasing. He was like, "It's time. Basically, it's time to play. It's time to play ball. We did all we can do for us the helmet situation. It's time to play ball." So they wanted him because they put up the most money. They supported him with his injury and his helmet grievance. and it just from the outside just looked like everything just falls on him. It just seemed like it's his fault. But like I said, it's two sides to every story. As far as him getting employment, I'm on the bottom depth of YouTube, but you heard this first with me. No team without a alpha male quarterback, coach, and GM is not going to touch Antonio Brown, at least not this season. So if you got a young quarterback, rookie quarterback, a young coach, something like that, they're not going to touch Antonio Brown. You heard this from me first at the bottom of YouTube before you even heard from Stephen J. Smith and Adam Sign and ESPN and NFL Network. You heard this right here first. Because of Daniel Snyder, Redskin, he like this type of guy. Redskin is a possibility. Although Green Bay have a rookie coach, they have an alpha male organization and alpha male quarterback. There's a possibility there. Other than the Skins and Green Bay Packers, the only teams that going to touch this guy, alpha male Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and their organization, or the Saints, Sean Payton, alpha male, Drew Brees, and then their organization. Antonio Brown would be, if he get a chance this season, it'll be one of these four teams: the Skins, the Packers, but more likely the um the um the Patriots and the what's the other team I said? The Saints. So I'm gonna leave that off. So I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So let's talk about these Cowboys. And like I did last year, I'm gonna go from the off season, kind of up to now. Remember last off season, I wasn't real happy. You know, they was talking about the owners and the co-owner talking about kneeling and all that stuff, and I wasn't into the Cowboys because they wanted to play politics, talk about kneeling. Our players ain't gonna kneel if they want to be a Cowboy. They ain't gonna kneel. Y'all remember that last year? And I said I wasn't feeling them for being in the politics, and the only time that the team did kneel is when you, the owners, took them to the middle of the field and knelt with them in Arizona. But since that movement started back in 2016, no Cowboys kneel. Matter of fact, they was being political and blowing this stuff out of proportion. Over 1,700 players in the NFL, and less than 10 kneel at any point in time. Anyway, so remember that I wasn't feeling the Cowboys last year, the owners with that silly stuff. This year, much better. It was a good off season. Um, for the owners. I mean, it was all things considered. I wonder why Jerry started talking about this Zeke Who stuff at the last minute, but then he quickly reminded us, and he's right. He earned a right, and he had a right to joke about whatever he wanted to joke about, and he's 100% correct. But I thought that was going to get out of hand at some point. But he reminded us, and he was correct. He can joke about what he wants. Then they done turned that into a marketing situation with the Zeke t-shirts and everything, making money off of it. So I mean, it was a pretty good off season. Um, the Zeke push down of the young man, no push down, that wasn't no big issue. He shouldn't have been suspended. The little bro man fight with Tyrone Crawford, that wasn't no big issue. So it was a good off season uh, for the team. I'm gonna cover the draft. The draft, I like the draft. The draft was a good draft. No first round pick. You got that value in Amari Cooper. Um, the draft was pretty good. I think at every pick they drafted what they needed for need. Um, I would like to see more from the third round pick, but he's hurt. The guard center. Um, his name eludes me right now. Um, and then our second round pick. He just gonna have to play. He gonna have to get his pad level down, get his NFL legs and body, because he's ended up 5 7 yards downfield. But I mean, he's not needed at this time, so he'll learn and he'll get to play. So I mean, the draft was pretty good. I like Pollard. I think two of the guys that got drafted, Weber, the running back, and then the cornerback out of Miami, they had to get waived, but they're on the practice squad. So the the draft's pretty good, I think. So let's go into here. Let's see, coaching. Garrett is not under contract. I'm gonna tell you why he's not under contract. This is my opinion. This is my view. I think in recent years, I think what he did was enough to get a contract, playoff, and had a playoff victory. But this is what happened, and it really makes him look bad. It really make Coach Garrett look bad, and just we waiting for him to exit to go. It really make him look bad. When Jerry, you ain't making no coach changes, so you endorse Linehan. That's why he don't have a contract in my view. Okay, Jerry Jones, he was he held on to you, the head coach. Then you gonna hold on to everybody else, and you know that offense is not right. So he endorsed you, you endorsed Linehan. Then the owner's like, no, 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 no. Linehan had to go, and for you to even see it that way in that light that he's good enough to stay and run the offense here, then I need not to extend you. I think that's my view and that's my feeling of what's happened. I mean, you're happy you're gonna retain this guy, Linehan. They got what the Cowboys had last year, the 20 20th ranked offense or something, 18th ranked or something like that, and he gets your endorsement right off the bat. So they let the kid have the job. Nobody don't know what to expect. Um, Veteran quarterback coach. I'm up against the clock, so some of these names are eluding me right now. I apologize for it. But between that quarterback coach, um, Kidner, and this kid, I hope that this offense is totally in their hands. Kidner can be a big help to that offensive coordinator position. I hope that this offense is totally in their hands because Jason Garrett done proved a long time ago that he wasn't that Sean Payton, that Noel Turner, that guy that Jerry thought he was and hired him to be. So um, you turn it over to the kid. It could be a little better if the head coach just don't have no say and just no influence over that offense. That's the only way it can be somewhat better. All right. So right here we got contracts are tricky. Contracts are tricky. Even me, a nobody, will not speak on another man's business or another man's money. Oh, I would never do that. Because who knows? One day I might be somebody speaking out, and then you have to atone for what you have said in the past. So I'm not going to speak on another man's money. I just want to say, like, I believe that the the luxury feel down there in Dallas with all the complexes and the Star and Frisco and the Margarita Mile and all the art in the big stadium and all that stuff. I think when you go there as a player, you should, and you are wooed by that, and you fall in love with that, and that's fine if that's what you choose to do. So you might want to be that's a cowboy for life, so to speak. So so team friendly contracts might be your thing, but some people, and they probably used to that, them owners, Mr. Jones. But some people want to get paid and deserve to be paid like the position required to be paid. So I have no problem with Zeke did. The only thing I worry and hope for that you don't get this guy in this game tomorrow and try to give him no 15 and 20 carries because he's back. He's been working out. He looked good, but he haven't been hit and he hasn't been wearing no pads. But I didn't see him work out in Cabo. He could have had pads on. I don't know, but he wasn't gonna play in the preseason anyway. So let Pollard run that daggone ball. Zeke should be nowhere near no 20 carries, not even 20 touches. So I worry about that, but I have no problem with what he did. Um, the law situation, it was like get the surgery, we're gonna pay you. That's what it seemed like to me. Get the surgery, then we're gonna pay you. No, pay me, then I'm gonna get the surgery. So I mean, he deserved the contract. He deserved what he got, but I wish that could have been settled. A little longer, a little earlier in the off season, because he's coming into the season old. And one thing about him, he a dog. He's a dog. He gonna give you 100, 1,000% if he hurt or not. But he played through shoulder injuries and everything else. But I want him healthy. I don't want him playing through injuries this season, so he can be even more effective than he already been over the last 2, 3 seasons. So I wish they could have resolved that, but he deserved to have gotten paid. And then you got Dak. All I say about him, he gave the company line, so he gave the company treatment. He could be paid right now. He could have been paid. He could be paid, but they will exploit you if you get a company line. He gave the company line. Hmm. What's the company line? Oh, I ain't worried about it. Basically, he's saying I ain't worried about my money. It's gonna come. I ain't worried about my money. That was his message. I'm sure they was more than willing to say, okay, okay, thank you, thank you. Oh, he would have got paid. So you be a company man, you get treated like a company man. He should not be playing this season on a $2 million contract, but that's what he wanted to do. So that's that. I mean, that's just it. Oh, another thing that almost made the news in a negative way was when Mr. Jones he was on he needs to stay off 105 fan because he said some crazy stuff at times. He's like something I'm paraphrasing is new territory when somebody don't honor their contract or something he said. I'm like, okay, you you cut Dez Bryant, you cut the Marcus Lawrence, you let Allen Hurns go after he wouldn't renegotiate a pay cut. Nobody don't honor contract, so don't say it when it's convenient for you to say it. But that's not what you do. But then again, I hope Allen Hearn land on his feet and have a good season. I like him, but I knew they weren't gonna pay him no $5 million. I just knew it. But still, you gonna say one thing and then practice what you preach. But anyway, so let me talk about a couple of players because while we talking about contracts and money, we know that Mr. Jones is a dynamic, awesome, just an awesome businessman. Awesome businessman. But I said this before, it just seemed like with this cap and this finance and stuff, what you put out there in the private sector, your skills, your genius, is not that same thing don't reflect on your books and your cap with your own team, and it's puzzling. And here's a couple of situations. Here's a couple of reasons why. All right, I'm gonna talk about this real quick. I'm gonna talk about love. I'm gonna talk about love. You got football love, then you got love. I'm gonna talk about football love. This may help him. This may help the Cowboys a little bit. I'm talking about football love. You sign a player, you draft a player, you give him training, you give him equipment, give him a playbook, you give them everything they need to succeed. You give them everything that they need to succeed. You put them in a position according to their skill set to be successful. Okay, you respect them. You know who they are. You know if they married. You know if they have kids. You know something a little bit about their family. All that's workplace stuff. That's football love. Then you got this other kind of love with the nepotism, the emotional love, like being in love with a player to the point that you got to bring them back, or you can't sever ties. You can't sever ties with them, or you bring them back. That's not good love. Your books, your books will stay messed up. Your salary cap will stay screwed up when you dealing in that type of love. This is a business, and I'm gonna give you some quick examples what I'm talking about. We love Sean Lee. What is it not to like about Sean Lee? If he stayed on the field more, he would potentially, in my view, be a Hall of Fame candidate at the end of his career if he stayed on the field more. That's how good he is What is it not to like about Sean Lee? So let me tell you how this love get your finances messed up. You drafted this rookie. I was like, Leighton, who? What are he gonna do? You had an Alabama linebacker that had a better grade than him. What he gonna do? He came in, he showed up, he showed out. When you get a first round pick and you hit like that, that's great. That's awesome. That's the way it's supposed to work. When that happens, that make you go to your books and be like, okay, because this number one pick came in here and done this, and he's ready to go. I can save this $7 million. This is a business. We no longer need Sean Lee. We no longer need him. That's how the system is supposed to work. Cowboys can't separate the business football love from the regular love. They love him, brought him back. He accounted for 6 million this season. Sean Lee, 6 million. But you're trying to get Cooper and you trying to get Cooper and Dak signed. Zeke had to hold out. D-Law had to fight. But you had a rookie that was talented enough so you can move on from this guy, and we love him. What's not to like about him? But he came in, you can move on from that 6 million, but you didn't. Another one on here, Jason Witten. What is it not to love about the Hall of Fame career of our beloved Jason Witten? $4 million. The worst part about this move is one kid that was coming on. I think he's in Jacksonville now. One of your draft picks. I can't think of his name right now. The worst thing about the Jason Witten move than the money is you done set this tight end position back at least another 1 or 2 years by bringing him back in the fold. Like you just couldn't move on from him. He had to come back. That's that. That's that bad love. You set that position back 2 years. And I mean, one thing about the tight end position, Jason Witten, he was a starter, what, 2002, 2003, something like that. If you cannot, if you have not found a tight end that can be productive as him, after all these years he been on the team, left a year, then came back, then it's your system. It's your offensive system. Your offensive system is screwed up. You are asking the tight ends to do something that they shouldn't be doing. If you all these draft picks and all these free agents, you cannot find a productive tight end. It is the system. I mean, if you want an offensive skill player, which is a tight end position, a receiver, to be doing all this blocking and crackbacking, then maybe I'm listening to the Grambling um, Law Tech game in the background. Maybe you need to go to some of these HBCUs and get one of them tight ends that they had to move to offensive tackle because of their size. But they're really two-way players. Maybe y'all need to be recruiting more at HBCUs to find the type of person you need at tight end. Instead of bringing these receivers, get down, get down the field receivers and try to turn them into and then what's the guy that's hurt now? Noah Brown, Noah Smith, Noah Brown, a wide receiver, making them into a crackback and a block and all that stuff. I mean, you all have the wrong type of system for tight ends. Y'all have the wrong type of system for tight ends. If you cannot find nobody to the point that you have to bring Jason Witten back and set your tight end spot back another 2 years, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. With a running back like Zeke, spread them out four wide. Anyway, and then one more on here. I'm about 50-50 on this one. Crawford, good guy. What's not to like about him? Good character guy. Nobody worry about that little bro fight, scuff, scuffle, whatever the heck that was. He's a good guy, good character guy. Tyrone Crawford is a above average run stopper, setting that edge and stopping the run. He's good with that. He's a below average pass rusher. I would take a $3 million salary cap hit and try to trade him after June. I would take that $7 million and put back on my books since you have a quarterback and possibly a wide receiver in Cooper that you're trying to um, sign. That's what I would have done. That number is too big for him. And then when you have players that come in and show you something, young players, that's the opportunity to do it. You brought Covington in from Texas. Hyder made a team. He's playing inside and outside. And then Joe Jackson, the rookie. It's too bad Mr. Wise got hurt. But a combination, and then Taco. He been looking good in the preseason. Preseason. Need to step it up. With the combination of them four players, they could have moved on from Crawford, but they didn't. So that's why I sit here and say he's not making these business moves in his own football organization like he do out there on the private sector. The business genius man that he is, he's not making them on there. Like I said earlier, I knew he wasn't gonna pay Arms the 5 million, but this is you got these other three guys on here that they could have moved on from too. So they're gonna like people that want give so-called team friendly take uh team friendly contracts, but they're not gonna sit the market with you. They're not gonna sit the market with you. Zeke, perhaps, but that's it. Who else is worthy? You gonna pay Cooper more than Julio Jones? Dak he made two playoffs. He made the playoffs twice. I mean, you know, Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, they got Super Bowl. But then you look at Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, it's gonna be they're gonna try to compare him with those two. So Stay tuned for that. We'll see. But when you get that company line, they're gonna keep it moving. So anyway, let's see what else I got here. Let's see. Up against the clock. Up against the clock. Up against the clock. All right. So I deferred when I couldn't get on Wednesday. I deferred. I would have been 0-1. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. Integrity matters. I don't care if one person watching me or nobody's watching me or whatever. Integrity matters. I would have been 0-1 because I went with the Bears. So let me do this. I talked about that. Talked about that. Okay. Okay. Let me do this. So Cowboys. Let's go down. Let's go over this real quick. Cowboys. So we about to kick off this season tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern time. I'm on Eastern time zone. So about to kick off the season. So let me start coaching. Garrett, keep your hands off the offense. No influence, no nothing. Keep your hands off the offense. You don't know what you got with a new coordinator, inexperience. But the way things has been going over the last couple of seasons, and Kitna make a big difference to me. Hopefully, him and Kitna are more intertwined than it seemed like it. I think they can figure some things out and make the offense function better. Um, so that's the offense. Head coach, another thing, when you in these games, and it's still in the back of my mind about that playoff loss to the Rams, I had the stats. I lost them. Rams, you had the opportunity for in that game 3 or 4 returns, as far as punt returns and kickoff returns. You have to maximize every opportunity that you get, period, particularly in a playoff game. I like Jordan Lewis. He's a starting cornerback in this league, far as I'm from where I'm sitting. It's a shame he getting caught up in this length, height, uh, uh, um, 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 discrimination. He's a starting cornerback on any team in this league. Period. Point blank. I don't want him getting jet sweeps. Jet sweeps. I don't want him returning kicks in a freaking playoff game. And you got Tavon Austin over there. Any opportunity you have on special teams to flip that field, you need the best person out there doing it. This ain't the time for we doing you wrong on defense because you're short, so we're gonna give you some offensive plays. No, I want Tavon Austin and now in this season Pollard returning all punts and all kicks. Period. Point blank. You give your team. That's the mentality of a head coach and what it should be. You give your team every opportunity to flip the field, to take it all away or whatever, and cut that foolishness out. Giving the cornerback jet sweeps and stuff. And you got Tavon Austin there. Give me a break. Defense, you got some moving parts. You're not sure the health of the D Law. Quinn suspended. Crawford didn't play. The ones that did play in the preseason, they was looking good. Needing to step up and just improve every week. I really like our defense, and I hope that play making experience on the back end from Donovan Wilson continue. I mean, it's the preseason, but a pick is a pick. So defense by far right now is the strong suit. So it's the strength. So just continue to improve, continue to get better. Taco had to be disruptive. Malik Collins was looking strong. Defense is going to have to win this game on Sunday because the offense, that line haven't played together, and you still don't know who's going to start or not. And Zeke haven't been there, so it's presumed that he's going to be rusty, and we don't want no muscle issues, no soft tissue issues, no soft tissue issues. Say that 10 times. So Zeke is a question mark. Pollard should get most of the carries. Um, don't know about Cooper. He didn't play. So Hill, that's a wild card there. I apologize that our number two receiver name is eluding me right now, but he's been awesome. He's been stepping up. He's been looking very good. We need a big season from him. So we don't know what we got. Quarterback, QB1, Dak. I'm blaming it on Lenahan. They have control over this man. At him, I'm blaming on Lenahan. This what Dak must do this season. He need to hit those easy throws that's there for him to hit. First of all, he need to hit those throws. I never seen an NFL game that a quarterback is 25 for 25. That's not going to happen. So 30, 20 for 30, okay. But let's make sure it's under the 10 that you hit went to a wide open, streaking man down the field. You got to hit the easy throws. And hopefully he has been working on his pocket presence, or Kitna has been working on that with him. I believe, if my recollection serves me right, at this time, that he was sacked like 50, 51 times, 56 times last year, second most in the NFL. If that got sacked 51 times, you better believe a third or more, which is 17 or more of those sacks, he could have stepped out the way. He could have stepped up, or he rolled right to the pressure. He rolled right to it. He rolled right to the sack. Now, for going to your fourth year quarterback, and this contract issue is out there lingering, lurking for you, that should not be happening. You got to step it up. He's going to have to step it up. If he got sacked 51 times last season, a third of them, 17 or more, he could have stepped up, or he'd roll right to the sack. So we have to do that. We have to do that. So I'm looking for, I'm hoping the defense is the vocal point, is the strong point, and they can stay healthy and hold this offense down, until they get the rhythm going. So that's what have to happen going to week one. Special teams. I'm gonna tell you about this special teams. This season from the special teams, I want at least 10 big plays from special teams. Maybe one block field goal, maybe two block punts. That's three plays, and then what else? And then probably about 10. I said 10. So one block field goal, one block punt, two block punts, and then about at least seven returns of over 30 yards. Punt returns and or kick returns. That way, they're trying to pin you inside your five. If it's a field position game, they pin you inside your 5 yard line, right? But you bust it off for 30. Now you out of 35. You in business. So about seven punt returns or kick returns of 30 yards and more, two block punts, one block field goal, and let's say I want 15 plays, and then like a couple of scripts and muff punts and muff kickoff returns, recoveries. Anyway, I just came out left field with that. But that's field goal kicker. In all truthfulness, he do scare me. He scares me. Anyway, so I'm all off script. So anyway, I'm pick the games real quick. I'm up against the clock. Wow. I'm up against the clock. I want to pick the rest of week one. I wasn't here before Thursday, so that's a deferment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm deferring week one. I would have been 0-1. I'm being truthful. I'd have been 0-1 because I went with the Bears. So Rams is here in the Carolinas against the Panthers. If you Carolina is just kind of tough at home. It's hot and humid and all that stuff. But if you don't know the health of Cam Newton, I'm gonna I'm gonna go with the Rams on the road to beat Carolina. Washington at Eagles. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. Buffalo at the Jets. I'm gonna go with the Jets. Um, this is a good one. I mean, it's the first game of the season, but Falcons at the Vikings. I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna go. This is a hard one. I might change it when I sum it up. Right now, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. Ravens at Dolphins. I'm gonna go with the Ravens on the road. This is a hard one. Kansas City at Jacksonville. Dude, this is a tough one right here. It's gonna take some time to see if um Jacksonville offense can get rolling with the new quarterback. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Browns at home to beat Tennessee. The Colts. Wow. Poor Colts. Poor Colts. I'm going with San Diego at home against the Colts. I'm going with Seattle at home against the Bengals. Wow. San Francisco at Tampa Bay. What kind of game is this? 49ers on the road. I'm gonna skip the Giants and Cowboys. Come back to that one. Um, Detroit at the Arizona Cardinals. Give me the home team. I go with the home team. Give me Arizona. Sunday night, Pittsburgh at the Patriots. Give me the Patriots. Monday night football, Saints gonna beat the Texans. And then I hate double header Monday night football games on the first weekend of the season. I hate it. I so hate it. Um, Raiders and the Broncos. Let's see. I don't know. Raiders is going to win at home against the Broncos. Cowboys at the Giants. The worst type of game to have at the beginning of the season is a division opponent. As Green Bay showed you that last Thursday night. You put the paper down. You put the roster down. It's Cowboys all the way. No pressure on the Giants. They gonna come in there. They gonna come to play. They got a good tight end. That position has been known to hurt the Cowboys defense. And then they have Barkley. Need for the defense to be stout. Need for the defense to be stout on the Giants. Giants is coming in. They're coming in hard. They're coming in to win. They can win, but I'm going with the Cowboys at home tomorrow night in the season opener. Yes, yes. Ready for some football. So once again, my picks were Carolina over Rams, Eagles over Redskins, Jets over Buffalo, Minnesota over the Falcons, Baltimore over the Dolphins, Chiefs over Jacksonville, Browns over Titans, Chargers over Colts, Seattle over the Bengals. Did I pick San Francisco or Tampa Bay? I can't remember. Tampa Bay over San Francisco, Cowboys over Giants. Um, I'm going with Detroit over. I'm changing this one. This is a change. I pick Matthew Stafford over the rookie. That's what I'm looking like this at. Looking at this like Matthew Stafford over the rookie. Detroit gonna beat the Cardinals in Arizona. Patriots gonna beat the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Game one of the doubleheader Monday Night Football. The Saints is going to beat the Texans, and the Raiders gonna find some mojo and some emotion and beat the Denver Broncos. So that was my week one picks. Wow, really up against the clock. All right, last year I did some season predictions, and my season predictions are limited to just like who will win the divisions, who will be the wild card teams, who gonna go to the Super Bowl, who gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm not there about no MVPs and defensive rookie of the year and all that stuff yet. I'm not there on that one yet. So you ready for some season predictions? Are you ready for some season predictions? This gonna be tough. And as I sit here with the cowboy gear on, I'm a fan, a lifelong fan. But I'm trying to gain credibility and be honest too. So let's see what I came up with. The East, the AFC East is going to be the Patriots, and then that's it. The Patriots go in the East. Um, the injury to that safety, Derwin James, and then Melvin Gordon, we're gonna have to see what he's gonna do. I can't give the Chargers that division. Those are two key players. So I got Chiefs winning the West. Everybody can't do what everybody can do. Cowboys, Zeke had more value to the Cowboys because he got the money. Gordon is a great player, but his value to the Charger is not what that was for Zeke at the Cowboys, and that's why he's not there. See, everybody want to be people be want to talk about hold out. Well, that's what you got to do, get paid. No, that's not what you got to do. If you got that skill and that worth, that'll work. But any Joe Blow, don't be talking about holding out to get your money. It don't work that way. So I got Chiefs winning this division because of Derwin James, the safety, and Melvin Gordon is not on the team. So Chiefs, the South was really hard to pick. I actually everybody talking about Pat Mahomes, and deservedly so. The new thing. I actually had the Colts with Andrew Luck going to finally dethrone the Patriots. That's what my predictions were and would be. But we all know what happened to Luck. So it wasn't gonna be the hot new guy. It was gonna be Luck dethroning Tom Brady. That's not gonna happen. They still have a solid team over there, but this is just so hard to pick. Texans, they got good defensive players. Watt, great defensive player. They lost Clowney, but to me, their defense has always been overrated. Deshaun Jackson is the truth, but he hold that ball too long. He remind me of early in Andrew Luck career. He remind me of Andrew Luck early in his career, holding that ball too long, taking them hits. So I can't, I don't know if he's gonna make it a full season. So I can't go with the Texans. I can't go with the Colts. So I'm down to Tennessee and Jacksonville. And I know I'm up against the clock, but I really have to elaborate on this one because this one is hard. Both teams got Jacksonville and Tennessee. Both of them got good defense. Jacksonville, wow, why this quarterback, the Eagles' former quarterback, why his name is eluding me right now? Both of them got a good running game. I think I would pick Fournette over Henry for whatever reason. With their offense, both of these teams are similar on defense, running the ball. What quarterback is going to be able to manage? And these are management style offenses. So who have the better receiver? And who do you trust more? Mariota or Jacksonville new quarterback? That's what it boiled down to. Just because he was what Philly need, that don't mean he's going to automatically be what Jacksonville need. A lot of times it don't work that way. This one is hard. This is the hardest one on here. I'm up against the clock, and it's taking me this much time to pick the winner of the AFC South. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. I'm gonna say in that ball control offense, they're gonna have a little bit better quarterback to get the ball. Mariota is not really consistent. Jacksonville, the South. Um, Jets gonna be better, but I already picked the Patriots. Browns is gonna be good, but they're not gonna win no division. Not yet. They're not gonna win the division. On paper, you think they're gonna win the division and go further, but I'm gonna give this division to the Ravens. Okay. So I got Pats, Chiefs, Jacksonville, Ravens. Your division winners, Steelers and Chargers. Steelers and Chargers are your wild cards for the AFC. The East, NFC East. Wentz was having an MVP year before he got hurt. It's something about Wentz. I don't. He's a good quarterback, and he got paid. But yeah, I don't see all that greatness that everybody else see. But anyway, I had to throw a little shade because I got to give Philly the division. Philly gonna win the East. This gonna be a shocker to some of you all. Seahawks, Seahawks gonna win the West. And I tried not to let the fact that I didn't get this show done before before the Thursday night kickoff. I tried not to be biased. I left the Bears in as the division winner. I didn't want to change it. I wasn't gonna change it after one game. So Bears gonna win the North, and then Atlanta or the Saints. The Saints gonna win the South. Okay, this is the tough part. This is the tough part. You got Atlanta, Vikings, Green Bay, Rams, and Cowboys. That's the way I got this thing written down. You got five teams vying for two wild card spots. Five teams vying for two wild card spots. Rams is going to be one of them. Okay. Green Bay, they got a revamp defense. That's the most important thing. They got a revamp defense. So is they gonna be the second one? The Vikings. When they all get down to it, I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. So no, the Vikings ain't gonna be that team. Atlanta. We have an opportunity to beat Atlanta head on. Don't we play the West this year? No, we don't play the West. We play the North. I'm up against the clock. Let me. Okay. Rams and Cowboys will be the wild card team. So don't grill me. Don't grill me, Cowboys fans. Saying you got the Cowboy gear, you ain't even pick them to win the playoff. They not gonna win the division. Rams. So we got Eagles, Seahawks, Bears, and Saints. It's gonna be a very competitive wild card spot between five teams, but Dallas and Rams is going to be the wild card teams. All right, Patriots is going to beat the Chiefs again. The Patriots is going to be the AFC representative for the Super Bowl. So the Patriots is going back. NFC, um, Saints or the Cowboys. Saints or the Cowboys. Patriots and Cowboys. This is the Cowboys year. I'm not saying it because I'm a fan. I'm not saying it because I'm a fan. This is going to be Cowboys year. I'm looking forward to them. I don't have the schedule in front of me right at this moment, but I'm looking for them to get off to a good start. At least out of these first four games, at least 3-1, and then I feel like we'll be on our way from there. This is I just feel it. This is going to be a special year for the Cowboys. I'm going with the Patriots and Cowboys in the Super Bowl, and this is the year. This is the year for the Cowboys. We got Cowboys bringing home that Lombardi Trophy um, in February, and that's it. Those are my season predictions. Um, I think I see one over here watching. Maybe. Thank you if you're there. Thank you for the privilege of your time, for staying with me this last hour and almost 10 minutes. I appreciate it. If you come along later and take in the video, I appreciate it. Thank you for the privilege of your time. And this season, it's going to be a better season. I'm getting out of the bed and into my production area like I was Thursday night. So thank you. I'm up against the clock. God bless you. Have a good day.